The first thing you want to do is pop your instances. Obviously, that applies to every build. And I'm using the All Stats Elixir with the Redamine Buzz for more life, because more life adds damage to our overpowers that we're doing with this build. And then the final one is just the Soothing Spices for resistances. And for our elixir, we're using the resource one, because the more resources we have, the more damage we deal with our Beastfall boots. So I'm having the plus 25 from that elixir. So this is a tier 100. I'm going to try clear it as fast as I can with this build. Tier 100 in Season 8 is considered quite high. Most builds can't even get close to it. So this build, clearly, as you can see from the timer so far, we're doing all right. I think we'll be able to. I don't even know. I think my record's like 4 minutes something. So we'll see. We'll see if we can beat that today. And now I'm going to explain the kind of rotation of skills I'm using, because there's a lot to this, especially if you want to play optimally. It's fun that way. I don't know about you guys. That's the benefit of, or not even the benefit. The whole purpose of playing rogue, or the class, like in itself, to me, is like fast, agile playstyle that requires more button clicking than for example, a minion necro that just kind of stands there and watches the party. So basically, we need to proc close quarters combat. And how do we do that? Well, Shadow Step is our first step. For me, it's a right click. I right click the enemies, and then I throw Caltrops. And Caltrops is my marksman skill, so that's how we proc those two. And a reason we also throw any trap is because the character Rogue uses the ranged weapon, aka our crossbow, when we throw traps. And whatever weapon we used last is what our death trap will be using. So if we throw a poison trap or a caltrop and then a death trap, our death trap will be using the crossbow. And the crossbow deals about 20% more damage than our daggers do. So that's pretty good. So basically, if we use Shadow Step, you don't want to immediately start spamming death trap. You want to throw one of the other traps, like caltrops or poison trap, in there, just to make sure you get that damage bonus. Keep in mind, everything I'm saying here is for optimizing your damage. You could literally lean back, play with one hand, just hold one button. Then that would work too. You're just gonna deal less damage. But that when we're talking thousands of billions, aka trillions, it doesn't matter that much. So with this build, we can use our cursor and the edges of our screen to kind of pull together things, and then to kind of pull them to the center or wherever you want them to be. We are the controller of the whole screen of mobs. We can put them where we want them. It's kind of hilarious. So this, we need to walk around these trees, pull them together here, and then we can create a more effective way, because our death trap's AoE is huge, so we're damaging all of these at the same time, which is kind of crazy. And so every 8 seconds we want to Shadow Step and Caltrops. Or Caltrops last for 7 seconds, so ideally we're keeping monsters in our Caltrops at all times. Our Poison Trap lasts for 9 seconds. However, every time we Poison Trap, we knock down enemies for 2 seconds, or about 2 seconds. So we want to be using our Poison Trap quite often, because Malice, our one of our passive skills, does more damage to knock down enemies. So I'm clicking Poison Trap quite often. And then obviously any rogue build, we want to use their potion every 10 seconds. It's a lot of things to keep in mind. And then ideally we want to evade every now and then, because every time we evade we get 12% damage from our passive as well. So there's like 10 different small cooldowns in my brain that I'm keeping in mind. But essentially, as long as you're activating close quarters combat, clicking Poison Trap every now and then, you can clear. How fast was that, by the way? Was that less than 4-minute run? I mean, that orange map is god tier. I'm gonna show you how to speedrun easier content than tier 100. Let's just open a random nightmare dungeon. Like, this is not just a pit pushing version. I'm listening to every content creator. They're like, it's only for hardcore players that really want to push the pit. And I'm telling you, no. All you gotta do with this build, swap any point in your skill tree. We can just put dash instead of Shadow Step. I'm gonna show you that this build is good for all types of content, and I'd argue less of a hassle to put together. For speedrunning content like this, I'm basically spamming Death Trap by holding D. And then all I'm doing is right-clicking every once in a while. I'm not even activating close quarters combat. So I'm doing 4 times less damage right now than I normally would, but everything's getting one-shot anyway. And if you're not one-shotting things, you can throw a Caltrops every once in a while to activate close quarters combat. Or even smoother if you don't even want to bother with that and you want to have this quick, easy playstyle. Just swap to exposure. So 1 point in dash and 1 point in exposure, and you're good to go for speedrunning. So the only 2 skills I'm using in this Nightmare Dungeon is Death Trap and dash. The only buttons I'm clicking is dash. Because I'm holding down my finger on the Death Trap button. That's how easy and strong this build is. Hopefully you got some insights into actually how to play it, because I realized the last video I made went into the details of the build, the skills in Paragon and gear and stuff like that. So if you haven't checked that out, go watch it. Because I'd argue this is the best way to play this build, the easiest way to level up with this build, the overall everything. The only downside is we don't get to take advantage of Doombringer, which is kind of like a neglected mythic unique, but you know what? Too bad.